I'm fine with celebrating Australia Day. Never had a problem with it. I'll tell you why. Because when I became a citizen in 1990, uh, you know, uh, we were grateful to come to this country because of its peaceful nature. There's no wars going on. There's no civil wars going on. Things are pretty good. Opportunities everywhere for my family. I don't see uh, how it's a bad thing to become a citizen of another country. And now, I've been here long enough to be considered an Australian. So for me, Australia Day is more akin to, oh hey, just remember this is a fucking great place and there's a lot of shitholes, and I've lived in a shithole, so you get to appreciate it that much more when you're in a better place. So yeah, I get the whole sympathetic side to it. Yeah, I get it. People came, it took your land and that kind of shit. But the thing is, though, how would Australia be if that never happened? It'd be just all this land for what? Nothing. Yeah, all that stolen generation shit, that's all fucked up. I know it's fucked up. There should be reparations for that kind of thing. But to say that, everything was taken from you, somehow I don't think so. Especially now, because it's been more than fucking 100 years, man. Because when it comes down to it, and I've actually written shit down, if you're in a position where you can protest it, if you're in a position where you have the fucking pens and placards made by the supposed invasion that helped you have those things, it's probably a stupid thing to do. And then I just saw the Juice Media video going, it's the woke crowd, like fuck them, being all sarcastic about it and shit. But they don't realize that, well, okay, where would you be if none of this happened? Would you exist? You wouldn't even exist. You wouldn't be in Australia. Where would you be? Your existence would be wiped out. So you're basically saying that, hey, fuck you, I'd rather not exist. It's retarded, okay? Now, and the thing is, see, the way I see it is because I'm part of a people who got fucked pretty hard now, over 100 years ago. And this is like not just, it's in my family. So it's like great-grandfather, or maybe just great-grandfather. When they came to Fiji, they were used as basically slave labor by the British, and the British got bored and said, there's no benefit for us to be in Fiji, so they fucked off. And they left all these Indians there to deal with all the natives who were pissed off that they came there. And the only difference was no one got fucking killed. All that dodgy shit didn't happen. But the thing is, we got resistance instead from the natives. So, okay, you gotta assume now that if the British did come to Australia, that it would have happened in a peaceful way. Let's just say that they just said, we would like this land, and that would have happened in a peaceful way. Have you not fucking seen American history? Have you not fucking seen Spanish history? You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm getting at? So, we had to deal with the fucking natives, and they're like, get the fuck out of here, man, and we don't want all this fucking roads and shit, all these buildings and improvements, fuck you. So the Indians ended up just, making roadways, highways, infrastructure, upgraded the technology, and now they're prospering. Because there's two ways to go about it. You can either whinge and complain and just remain stagnant and not do anything about it and see yourself as a victim, or you can take it on the fucking chin and say, well, fuck this, we're not just gonna lay down and just take it. We're just gonna start improving ourselves and improving our fucking environment to the point where it's almost as if the shit didn't happen, that we were originally here. And that's what's happened in Fiji. And not only that, because the Indians have let go of the past of, the fucking British dropping us there and just using slave labor and all that shit. Just let go of that shit, improve yourself. become a success, because that whole saying of the best revenge is having a successful life. So that's exactly what happened. So, and the best thing about it is there's no resentment anymore. There's no, oh, what they did to us, and just fucking whinging all the time and asking for a fucking handout and asking for reparations, which will never come, because no one gives a shit about that kind of thing. You can cry about it as much as you want, but no one's going to fucking help you. No one helps you in life. You got to do it yourself. So the point is, the new generation now, they don't have that history. They're not clinging to the history of, oh, this happened to us, now we're a fucked victimized people. So they don't have that victim mentality. They have okay, yeah, our grandparents went through shit, but obviously they didn't just sit there and take it, and they fought back, and now look at us now. And what that has done is, now the Indians, the natives, any other race that comes there now, they all get along, because there's no backstory of, oh, they did this to us, this happened to us, blah, 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 blah. All that shit doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, there was a coup in Fiji. Yeah, there was civil war. Yeah, the army was fucked towards Indians. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. All this shit. But now that we've moved past all that shit, because, I've been there multiple times since the wars and shit. No one's done shit to me. Nothing's really happened to me. And it doesn't happen to most people over there now, because everyone's just fine with each other. Oh, you've got Christians there, you got Muslims there, you got Hindus there. You've got all these, like even Singaporeans are there, just a whole, and Japanese people. And there's just a whole hodgepodge of cultures there, all getting along. They all celebrate each other's religious holidays. So Muslims will do the Colour Festival with the Hindus, and that kind of thing. Ramadan, everyone respects that over there. And then the Christians have their Easter, Christmas. Everyone's celebrating. They're all getting along, because they're not just clinging to the fact that, once something has happened to you, you just lay down and die, and then you just stagnate. Your thoughts stagnate, your actions stagnate. You don't improve yourself. So that's the thing. Over here, now you're complaining about Invasion Day. What have you fucking done in those 100 years where you could have helped yourself to the point where you wouldn't need to be protesting right now, to the point where you wouldn't need to worry about what happened in the past, to the point where now your generation is like, oh, well, that happened a long time ago. This is now, here and now, and this is how we get along with everyone right now. Well, how about that? Wouldn't that be better? So, and what I've always noticed is, when it comes down to these protests and shit, it's always the weakest who yell the loudest. So what I mean by that is, they basically don't want to help themselves, so they want supporters to help them, but they'll never help those supporters who are helping them. You know what I'm saying? So they're just using them as pawns. So if you're like supporting this kind of shit, they're just using you as pawns. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about your problems or your plights. Why would they? They don't care about themselves. Most people who are, feeling oppressed and shit, they don't care about themselves. And why the fuck would they care about you? They don't. Because that's what it comes down to. If you give a shit about yourself, then you're going to self-improve yourself. You're going to get to the point where you're strong enough. And then if you are strong enough, and then you're passing that strength down to your kids and their kids, blah, 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 then you're going to become a strong community. And then that becomes like a really big, a bigger community, and it just keeps strengthening and strengthening to the point where you don't need to fucking rely on another group anymore. So this will happen forever. You can complain about what you want. You can, make sarcastic fucking funny videos about, how, conservatives are wrong and lefties are fags and all this. But there's never like a middle ground where, okay, how about you see where your weaknesses are and work on them? And while that's happening, things that were really bad, we'll get to work on maybe making some reparations for it. But the point now is, you have to sort of be strong enough not to give a shit about something that happened 100 years ago now. And people will try and say, oh, it wasn't that long ago. It happened more recent. Okay, even if it did, Do you want to just sit there and whinge about it for the rest of your life? Do you want to pass on that weak, whingy bullshit to your kids? Or do you want them to be strong bastards so they don't have to give a fuck about that anymore? And they don't have to deal with that shit in the future? Because if they're strong, then no one's going to fuck with them. And that's exactly what happened in Fiji. No one fucks with the Indians anymore because it's like, all right, you motherfuckers basically run the place now. Why would we fuck with that? Because of the infrastructure you've created. You've given the natives jobs. You've given other cultures jobs, other immigrants jobs. So it does my head in because people simplify it too much, especially over here. Oh, that bad thing happened, so help the weakling. Oh, and you're a shit cunt if you don't. No, you're a shit cunt if you decide to just hold that as a crux and never move forward. So that's my whole point when it comes to that shit. If you're strong and you strengthen your community, then you don't need to worry about all this bullshit. Because you'll be too busy fucking prospering to worry about this shit. And it's not always about money. And I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about fucking mentally. Because it's a mental weakness now. And if you want to overcome it, then, start by helping yourselves and your own communities. And then get to a point where you're strong. So you don't have to worry about Whitey or Chinky or Blackie or any other fucking cunt who gets in your way or is trying to take away your land or oppressing you. There you go.